when you break it down, you think it costs what, like $1 to get like a 5 pack of juicy fruit nowadays. So what is that? Like you're spending $1 for 5 sticks of gum, which equals essentially what, 48 seconds of tastiness, 6 seconds per stick. No. Like I'm just saying, the juicy fruit is not worth the squeeze on that one.
The Dorkening and all affiliated shows are not intended for anyone under the age of 18. The following may contain discussions or scenes that have adult situations, graphic violence, nudity, strong sexual content, and graphic language. This show is intended for mature audiences only. Viewer discretion is advised.
Everyone thinks because you're a zombie, you don't know good coffee. Well, they're wrong. There's only one brew that gets my seal of approval. Deadly Grounds coffee is my guilty pleasure. The aroma is so intoxicating. It brings all of my neighbors out of the woodwork. Deadly Grounds coffee. Coffee to die for and zombie approved. It's good to get a little deadly. Use the front door! Oh, they're so disgusting.
Hey, happy Wednesday. You are watching The Dorkening. My name's Leo. I'm the monkey behind the keyboard here. And we're going to have fun tonight. This is a laid-back episode. We're just going to reminisce about some of the cool shit that happened in 2022 and might talk a little bit about the Stan Lee announcement and, who knows what else. But, we're going to have fun. And I've spoken way too much. Powerful Brandon, how's it going?
I like how you're just reassuring every listener and watcher. Like, it's going to be a fun show tonight, guys. No, it's really going to be fun. It's going to be fun tonight. Tonight, for a change, we will have fun. I promise. Some of you will have fun. Not everyone. I can't guarantee it. It's not a guarantee. All right. It will mostly not be fun. It'll be fun for us. I can't speak for the rest of you. Like, it'll just get lower and less with each utterance. But regardless of that, hey, how's it going, Leo? How's it going, Steve? I'm fine, and I hope everyone else out there is doing well.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. Steven.
Yes, it's going to be a fun night, and hope everyone had a great holiday and Merry New Year.
Holy crap.
Well, Leo, you really busted the gut on that one.
I have to say, during Still Token With, I decided to have a brownie.
Well, you're welcome.
Me. Actually, this is from that batch of butter that Jar Jar gave me.
Oh, I see. I see.
The scary.
I know. I was looking. I have to get some heavy cream because I was going to make some baked goods before the weekend, just for funsies, because I like baking and I haven't done it in a bit. And also the heavy cream that I did buy, I slowly used in batches of hot cocoa over the past 3 weeks. So I've watched, I mean, it's good because it is getting used, but at the same time, like every single time I'd make hot cocoa, I'm like, this is just making it so I have to go back to the store in order to make brownies like next week. Right. And sure enough, I have every other component I need. Everything. I mean, right down to the fucking KitchenAid stand mixer on my counter. All right. And the one thing that's going to prevent me from doing it is heavy cream. It's like, I suppose I could try to fucking boil down half and half.
Scary that I know this, but you can actually buy the really big containers in at like BJ's.
Oh yeah, but I mean, I don't need that much heavy cream. I'm like, for Christ's sake, like it's not like I'm trying to make
Uh,
a fucking milkshake with my coffee every morning or what have you. Like that stuff is no joke. You can't do. Oh my god, if you don't put something in cream, like to have it as like some kind of like decadent drink, there's no way you could just drink cream. I mean, if you can,
Yeah.
Godspeed. I mean, you are. I'm not going to say better person than me, but certainly a different one. It's not because of any lactose intolerance or anything. It's just like I don't think humans are meant to be ingesting all of that, even by like the mouthful. That's
Yeah.
a lot.
I when I was doing keto, I used to use that for my coffee creamer. And yeah, I definitely have to use it sparingly.
Yeah, dude, you use that shit for your like you were making a hot coffee milkshake at that point. Like, don't fucking call a spade. I mean, for real, dude. Seriously, you didn't put any sugar in it, and you
Oh,
put some heavy Splenda. Ugh.
Splenda. Yes. Splenda, about 3 tablespoons of
Why didn't you just
cream.
have somebody like who lives near you come in, put sugar in their mouth for about 12 seconds, and then just spit into your coffee?
Gross.
It would amount to the same thing, and it would probably taste better.
I enjoy Splenda.
Good for you, man. Good for
Okay.
you.
Okay.
I mean, I get it. I like sweet and low, so
Yeah, to each their own.
that's what my mother always had in the house when I was growing up was sweet and low. So I enjoy those little pink packets on occasion. But otherwise I will use sugar. I have a tendency to melt it down before I put it in coffee or anything. I'll get the hot coffee in there and really give it a chance to kind of break down, and then I'll pour the rest of it what I need in, and I'm good to go. Like with Death by Chocolate from Deadly Grounds, which is one of my favorites.
He messaged me that he may have a restock soon, so fingers crossed.
Well, if it's anything like fucking Roosevelt's, I look forward to missing out on the restock by about 15 fucking minutes.
Well, if we want to talk about something sweet, we can talk about the sweet ass movies we saw in 2022.
We must have seen different movies. I'm sorry. Sweet ass movies.
Yeah.
I guess I saw a couple.
Well, apparently Avatar 2 is
yeah, Avatar 2 is doing great. I guess.
No.
I thought it like hit it. Well,
it did. It hit $1 billion worldwide. So, but I mean, yeah.
And he already started filming 3 and 4. It's
Oh, thank God. I was super worried.
Yeah.
I was like genuinely concerned that we weren't going to get the final chapters of the story. I can't even finish that sentence. I don't care about Avatar at all. I really I could not care less about that fucking movie / franchise.
Same here.
Like people are like, oh man, it's making over $1 billion and blah blah blah. And I'm like, how? Who?
Yeah, I know. It's like I don't hear anybody talking about it.
Me neither.
And
I really don't care.
Yeah, I don't know personally. I don't know a single person that's seen it.
Yeah.
And I'm saying that keeping in mind like everyone that we work with on the podcast and throughout the network, like I can't think of anybody that I have regular communication with that has seen that movie.
Yeah.
Again, no one I've come into contact with.
All right, you know what? I'm going to say it now. I don't think that the actual fucking worldwide gross is $1 billion. I think I think Disney and James Cameron is lying to us because they need to save face on the fucking immensity of this project, and they will pad the numbers and funnel cash in to make it seem as though that's exactly what's happening right now. Ooh, all kinds of people are seeing it. I'm calling it now. Avatar conspiracy theory.
Yep.
You heard it here first, kids. I don't believe a word of what I just said, but you heard it here first, kids.
Brandon, I believe you, but also add to the factors of, it's the winter, flu season, the RSV thing. People aren't going to go into the theater if people are sick. People are afraid of going to the theater. So I don't think they're cooking up this box office number to generate dollars.
I
So
think
I
you're
agree with
really
you.
discounting the number of knuckle dragging smooth brains that are out there, Steve.
No, I'm
Yeah.
just saying that I think
Listen, those same people that are like, no, fuck everybody else who's sick, and oh well, thank you, Carrie. Yes, many Smurfs died to get me these clothes tonight.
Papa Smurf, I think Brandon's gonna kill us and use us for dye on his clothes.
Greeny.
So I'm gonna jump on your bandwagon for the conspiracy theory there, because
Good, spread it like wildfire, please.
I agree.
Hashtag the Dorkening.
I agree.
So I actually have a little experience in people cooking the books, and
Back when you were a mafia accountant. Sorry.
No, I used to work for a certain place that had a concert arena. I won't say who, but they were having a singer come, who would thinks that if you can't believe in life after love, however that goes,
surely you must be joking. I got it. I fucking get it, man. I'm pretty sure a lot of people out there got it.
Well, anyway,
if I could turn back time, I'd react quicker, Leo. Have I made it abundantly clear that I understand the reference you were making?
Yes. Just wanted to make sure.
It's not like you're talking about a bunch of gypsies, tramps, and thieves.
Well, anyway,
Leo,
yes.
I got you, babe.
Oh my god. So anyway, we had, since we were doing the marketing, we had to do like a last minute announcement that everybody seeing the her sold out concert was getting a copy of her new CD. And you figure, what is that? Well, I'm not gonna ask you, Steven, because you wouldn't know. I don't know how many thousands of people go there, but hey, Brandon number one. Well, anyway, you get what I'm saying. Is they were boosting her record.
Did I just get called piss? What just happened?
What?
Using bathroom codes in the comments now. Brandon number one, Johnny number 5. No, disassemble. No.
I think he was referring to Escape from New York.
Hey, you.
Hey, number 1. Your mama was a snow blower.
Sorry. So CDs.
Yeah. So that they could say, oh, this artist sold so many CDs this quarter. It's yeah. So I think it's something crazy like a 20,000 arena, and she like sold it out like all 3 nights. I think
15,000.
50. Oh, okay.
Do I hear 16,000? No.
No.
Any takers? Okay, going for 15,000 once, twice. Sold to the man in glasses who's not Leo Pond. Well, I mean, that's certainly a way of padding the numbers. That's definitely a way to pad the numbers. But I feel like there's too much face that can be lost by Avatar being a flippity flop. So
how much was it to make that movie?
I don't know. However much it was too much, both time and money.
I heard
To
something.
what?
2 billion.
They were saying today that it needed to make $2 billion in
It
order to break.
needed to make $2.5 billion in order to be
Break even.
profitable. Oh, I thought be profitable. But regardless, I don't care because I'm not going to see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Way of Water budget. Let's see what. Oh my God! It broke my computer. $250 million.
Oh, I have 350 here.
Do I have 400?
I'm on IMDb Pro.
Okay, no, the film was made with a budget of $237 million, with another $150 million set for marketing.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. So technically speaking,
They made their money back.
it was $387 million if you factor in both numbers.
Yeah.
It's already made $1.03 billion in the box office, if they say so. A lot of money getting laundered through fucking foreign markets there, I think.
Oh shit!
Yeah, pretty much.
So something definitely smells funny there. We'll definitely listen for that.
Yeah, something is rotten in Denmark.
Yeah. But we
that is a Shakespearean line, by the way. I can't take credit for it. And if anybody here has ever seen Hamlet, they know what I mean.
So we don't want to talk about crappy movies. We want to talk about good movies from 2022.
Well, that's going to shorten the list considerably.
Really?
I don't know. I got.
Well, yeah. I mean,
dude, it's the last show of the year. I'm fucking so checked out. I mean that in the nicest way. Like I'm here to fucking goof off.
Yeah.
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 That's
I mean,
like
so movies, like we saw good movies this year. I mean, I think the best movie for me personally that I saw all year was Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
That
mean,
movie.
I have a top 2, and that's one of them. The other one is recently Glass Onion.
Yeah, we're different. I saw that movie, and how best to explain my reaction to the movie, both as it unfolded and finished. This is not a spoiler, all right? But Steven, you've seen the movie. Leo, I imagine you have not.
Nope. Yeah, correct. I have not seen the movie.
Why would you?
And I enjoyed the first. So I enjoyed the first movie, and I'm.
The second movie is definitely different than the first movie. However, I don't do well when it comes to mysteries because I have a tendency. Movies are part of my hyper focus for my ADHD. I will latch on to what's on the screen in front of me, and I will just like keep my eyes open without blinking. This is a real thing. I legitimately have to use like Clear Eyes or Visine after I watch stuff because I have a tendency to not blink when I watch movies because I'm trying to take it all in. And I observe and absorb a lot. And mysteries for me, especially because I love writing as well, it just becomes a game. And I start trying to figure out what it is well before we get to, Hercule Poirot or Blanc fucking revealing what the whole thing is. And whilst watching Glass Onion, I found myself by the end of it feeling the exact same way that the character of Blanc, the detective played by
Daniel
Craig, felt at the very beginning of the murder mystery party that he sat down at. When he sat down at the table and he was just like, oh, this. And then Edward Norton was like, what the fuck? I am Blanc, and my wife is Edward Norton. every fucking time we watch a mystery. She straight up at the beginning of the movie, she's like, I really need you to not talk and figure this out well before the end of it tonight. And I was like, I cannot promise you that at all. There is no other place in the world that I can sit down and do this. So no, I'm going to do exactly what you said not to. Like, I can't help it. Like, I can't do this at somebody else's house. I can't do this in a movie theater. So here we are. And yeah, I fucking did it. And I literally called the entire movie, every single fucking thing that happened. And Dara was like, it was a pretty good movie, but you're fucking enraging. I was like, yeah, I get it. But that being said, like, I was far more impressed with Knives Out. Glass Onion was okay for me, for me personally. Like, I give it a 2.5 out of 5.
Okay.
Yeah, but I mean that's the tricky thing about Agatha Christie-esque murder mysteries and what have you too. That there's only so many variations and stuff you can go through, and they try to. I will say that Ryan Johnson tried to throw curveballs because I didn't think it was very fair, to be perfectly honest. He kind of did some stuff that he didn't do in Knives Out insofar as how the story unfolded, the things put before you. And there were certain bits of information that you were not given
Yeah.
until certain points. And once I got those bits of information, I'm like, oh, okay, well, this, that, and the other thing then. And, sure enough, right before something happened, yep, there it is. That's exactly what I said. I just, it was just a couple little things here and there, but I'm like, oh, you don't want anybody to fucking try to figure this out before the end of it. Well, good luck to you, sir, because it's still happening. Yeah, I mean, I'm glad that you and a lot of other people like really, really enjoy it. I just really also wish that the comparisons to Clue with Knives Out and that series as it is now would stop. Because
I haven't seen any comparisons to it.
people were saying Knives Out is like the new Clue. It's like this generation's Clue.
No.
Oh, I agree with you. No, it's not. It's so far from being what Clue is. It's not even funny. Just because it's a murder mystery, like, newsflash, turn on PBS. You can see literally any number of British murder mysteries, all
Mhm.
based off of the Agatha Christie shit.
Dude, I got BritBox from my mom, and
Well, I do now.
you're totally like, it's crazy how many of those Perot, type shows there are.
Poirot, fucking Miss Marple, like, dude, it's all fucking, it's all people killing each other all over the goddamn English countryside, and it's only through fucking Hercule Poirot showing up or some other character that it'll ever get solved. Because otherwise, it's all just a series of unfortunate accidents, much like in Hot Fuzz.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, if it just kind of astounds me that people are getting like wowed and amazed by, like, whoa, oh my god, this murder mystery, yada yada yada. And it's like literally everything that Knives Out and Glass Onion takes inspiration from, they've been making into miniseries and series and movies on BBC for the past 40 to 50 fucking years. I remember my grandmother watching, jeez, it might have even been Poirot. Like going over. I mean, they've been doing that shit for years.
Yeah. My great grandmother would watch a lot of those.
Yeah,
She
if it's written by Agatha Christie or fucking Douglas Adams, they're gonna do something with it on BBC. So Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Don't forget a towel.
Don't panic. I'm just saying, like, if BBC, you can count on like some kind of Douglas Adams thing, an Agatha Christie mystery, possibly an episode of Are You Being Served and Faulty Towers. And if you were really lucky when you were a kid growing up, on Saturdays or Sundays, they would show episodes of Monty Python's Flying Circus.
Oh.
Yeah. PBS was just the American poor man's version of BBC. That's all it was.
Hey, Nate, how's it going?
Like I said on our podcast, Everything Everywhere All at Once is like if you went and bought a everything bagel, then went home to watch a kung fu marathon and dropped acid.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I mean, I feel like you could have just eliminated the middle portion of that sentence and it could just be like, it's like if you went and dropped acid.
Yeah, but that, oh my God, that was an amazing movie.
Yeah, it was everything that Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness wanted to
Wasn't.
fucking be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
Like,
didn't
that's
even
how
make
you
my
do.
list.
What's that?
That didn't even like make my list for the year.
No.
Yeah, because we've already seen the Evil Dead movies.
Yeah.
Like, listen, I enjoy Sam Raimi's horror stuff. Like, I like horror movies. You know, I know more than the average bear. I'm not saying I'm the most well versed, but you know, I have a surprisingly, you know, high aptitude in that area on occasion. Depends on the franchise, I suppose. You know, ask me about Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street, sure thing. Ask me about Halloween, I start getting a little iffy. Ask me about Saw, and I will tell you to go fuck yourself. Like, I have no idea. I don't know. Didn't that dude die of cancer by the third movie or some bullshit? I don't know.
I'm getting an echo. Hold on.
You hearing an echo?
Yeah. Let's try it now.
Echo.
Okay. It was only when you were speaking, Brandon, which was odd, but it's gone now.
Oh, great. So, considering the fact that I'm a big mouth, that'll be most of the show. Fanrific.
I mean,
yep, I heard it. I just heard the echo again.
Yeah, I'm not hearing it on this side. Yeah, echo, LOL.
echo. I mean,
echo. Hello. Hello.
I mean,
you like pina coladas and getting caught in the rain. Nope, nothing. Okay.
Echo one the base. Echo one the base.
So
you were on target.
You were saying that you don't like the Saw movies because the same with me with the Scream.
I mean, I was just saying I don't fucking care about them. It was just part of a point I was making generally about horror, but I was, in folding it into Doctor Strange.
Scream movies. I haven't seen a single one, and I mean, if people talk to me about them, I'm like, dude, I don't know. I haven't seen a single one. You can ask me about other horror franchises, and I'll tell you. But Scream.
I mean, if you've seen a bunch of movies from other horror franchises, I would say you should probably watch at the very least the first Scream movie.
Yeah,
because it was such a deconstruction of the tropes of horror movies up to that point, and it was very on the nose to have Wes Craven be the one to direct it. So I do recommend you check that one out. But that's neither here nor there. I was just bringing those things up because I was saying, I like Sam Raimi's horror stuff. I've seen, any number of things by him: the Evil Dead trilogy, Darkman, The Gift. Even I think did he do A Simple Plan? I think. Billy Bob Thornton.
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
I think he did because that's how he and Billy Bob Thornton became like kind of friends. Because Billy Bob Thornton wrote the screenplay for The Gift that Sam Raimi directed in 1998. Sam Raimi, yep.
Wow. Yeah.
Look at me. And and Bridget Fonda was in it. Go figure. That's funny. Bridget Fonda, she played Linda in the very beginning of Army of Darkness, when Ash is just giving a very brief overview of what his whole deal is before he's like straight up, okay, I'm stuck here in medieval England. She was a big fan of the first two Evil Dead movies, and she like fought to just have this super small role at the beginning of the movie, and clearly that endeared her to Sam Raimi and ended up putting her in his movie A Simple Plan a few years later. That's pretty cool. I didn't realize that. I haven't seen A Simple Plan in 25 fucking years. So
Yeah. I saw it when it came out. I haven't seen it since.
yeah. Oh wow, I completely forgot that Brent Briscoe was in that. That's crazy. Regardless, the thing is, he does have a signature style in certain moves that he makes that you see in pretty much every movie. And at first, when I saw him do a couple of these things outside of like the horror trope, the horror movies that he had been known for primarily, I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. Like that's a fun little like nod and wink to fans of his from a a completely separate genre. But having gone into Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, yeah, I'm not so convinced that it was like clever wink wink nudge nudge. It's like, oh no, that's your bag of tricks. Like straight up. That's what you do. That's how it's going to be when you make a movie. And I honestly just wasn't impressed by most everything that happened in that flick. I mean, and like I said, we've already seen the Evil Dead movies. It's like, oh, hey, look, there's your kind of braggart, blue-shirted protagonist who has a problem with his hands being injured, right? And he has to jump through a wormhole or wormholes in order to get a book that could either save or destroy all of humanity / creation. That sounds an awful lot like an Evil Dead movie to me.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
And we even got a fucking a live version of our protagonist and a dead version of our protagonist,
Yep.
much like Good Ash and Evil Ash in
Ash.
Army in Darkness. It's like, it's fine, whatever. I'm fine. It's all fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, and the other thing is, like, I personally, I mean, I kept saying leading up to it that everyone should manage their expectations. Like, I know you all have a fucking laundry list of people that you expect to see in this movie, but you should probably just gear yourself up for not seeing the vast majority of them. And a lot of people went in there with that laundry list, you included, Leo.
Oh yeah.
And you came out and you were like, oh, they didn't show like more than half the things I wanted to see in it. It's like, yeah, because what you wanted was just going to be fucking Cameo Fest 2022. And what they were trying to do was a movie where there's a main character and they try to follow what he's doing.
I don't think I was upset because they weren't in it. It was it's always fun to think about, oh my God, what if Wolverine's in it? It's or Beast, or they link it somehow to
Leo, you legitimately came onto the show and you're like, yeah, no, they didn't have like the things that I thought were going to be in it. Like, I will find the fucking episode. I swear to God.
Can we do the replay?
Yeah, right. I will find it. I will scour these shows.
Yellow flag on the field.
But I'm just saying, like, and then I honestly, how do I put this? Okay, this is the perfect way to put it. I got the same vibe from John Krasinski showing up as Reed Richards in the Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness movie that I did from Zack Snyder's Justice League being released on HBO Max. As soon as I saw it, I was like, this is kind of cool, but this is only going to lead to bigger problems later on. And that's exactly what happened with Zack Snyder's Justice League, which I had been saying beforehand anyway. I'm like, don't do it. Don't do it. You're going to give them an inch and they're going to take a mile. And sure enough, what happened after they released the movie? Oh, restore the Snyderverse. Oh, that really worked out well for you, didn't it, folks?
And look what's happening now. People are.
Oh yeah, that was like an early Christmas gift for me. I was like, James Gunn, I didn't get you anything. I guess I owe you one. And when I saw Reed Richards as portrayed by John Krasinski in this movie, I was just like, no, you guys fucked up so fucking hard. Fan service is never a good idea, man, because the second you do it, a lot of those toxic fans are going to be like, well, you fucking gave it to us the first time when we said it, so now we're just going to fucking straight up demand it. And there are so many people who have their panties in a wad because all signs point to somebody else playing Reed Richards in the Fantastic Four movie, which is what I said after they had said, like, oh, John Krasinski's going to be in. I'm like, don't plan on this being for the long haul. It's a one and done thing, kids. And people, railed and fought, no. And, now it's very clear that that's likely not going to be the case, that he's not going to be Reed Richards moving forward. And we're starting to see people fucking do the same shit that they did with the Snyder Cut and Snyderverse. I will say this. I think that Marvel is, and Kevin Feige and Victoria Alonso are much better positions to be able to say, oh, yeah, that's an excellent point. To counter that, we would like to say, go fuck yourself. How about that? You'll get what we give you, and then you'll figure out you like it. That's just me, though. I think that they will both, take a good hard look at it and be like, oh, that's lovely that they care that much. We just have to make sure then that we make the movie that much better, because we need to make sure that it's worth it in these people's eyes. I bitching about what you deserve, this, that, and the other thing as a fan on either side of the fence. It doesn't matter if you're Marvel or DC. Shut up. You have literally no right to do it. I don't, you don't, none of us do.
Yeah, it's crazy how people can feel like an ownership towards something.
Yeah,
that,
oh, I've been reading this since blah, blah, blah. Yeah, well, guess what? They fucking own it. They can literally do whatever they want with it. Whatever.
I'm just excited we're always getting more content. So, but I realize, we'll get burnt out at some point, but
more content is not always good content, Leo.
Well,
no, quality over quantity, man. Quality over quantity every time. If you just focus on quantity, then that's the only thing that will matter. And a glut of these things is not the same thing as having a few of them that are absolutely excellent.
Well,
that's go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, like, what the heck? I just lost it. Sorry.
Lesson: marijuana affects the memory.
What were you saying?
Shit. I lost what I was gonna say because I was trying not to interrupt you. Fuck. This is why I got to start keeping that notebook next to me.
Weed's a powerful drug.
Oh, yeah. You know what? No. ADHD. This is a nicotine vape. Yeah. No. What it was is that's the quantity portion of it is kind of where Phase 4 for Marvel has fallen.
Yeah.
The idea of making so many series in such a short amount of time was probably ill-advised. That is going to burn people out more than anything else. And I think Marvel has realized that now, and why they are making moves to pare down the number of series they were going to do. And they've even taken a series itself and made it into a movie. Now it's not going to be a series any longer, I believe.
Oh yeah, which one was that?
Was that Armor Wars?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Which is probably for the best. If you start getting to a point with those characters and stories where you're planning on making series and you start looking at it like, okay, so what do we? If ever the word fill starts to come into play, then you've already lost the battle, because you do not want to just fill space with anything. You want it to be meaningful story. And if you're filling space, then that means you don't need 6 hours to tell that story.
Right.
You don't need 5 hours. You likely only need 2, maybe 2.5. It depends. You know, I mean, at this point, my hope is that if they're doing Armor Wars, just you gotta bring Sam Rockwell back in.
Yeah.
You know, Justin Hammer, you know, too good a character to not have involved in that whole thing, but also Sam Rockwell, for crying out loud. Talk
Yeah.
about wasting a fucking talented actor on a fucking bit part, essentially. How many goddamn years ago? Justin Hammer, that's like phase one bullshit. Blah, 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 blah.
Well, what I
Ano-
was
oh,
just real quick, what I was talking about, you know, as you mentioned, quality versus quantity. I totally get it with, you know, Marvel. They're pushing out too much content right now, but on the other hand, looking at DC, you know, DC, we can go through periods of dry spells, you know, and you know, I'm happy they're trying to keep DC going and trying to get it, you know, right.
Yeah, I mean, I think that James Gunn and Peter Safran, they're making the most prudent move they can. You know, they're trying to build an entire, you know, how do I put this? They're trying to build an entire structure of what the DC universe is going to be. They can't do that on the foundation that's been laid
Exactly.
because there's way too many cracks in it. So they need to demolish what's there now in order to rebuild completely from the ground up. That's the best metaphor I can think of in regards to DC Studios. And it's the smart move. I know that there are a lot of people upset that like Henry Cavill isn't going to play Superman anymore, but you know what? Somebody else will get cast as Superman. It's fine. We will all be okay. Believe me. And here's the thing. I get it. I like Henry Cavill and I like the idea of him being cast as Superman. But to say I liked Henry Cavill as Superman is incorrect because I've never liked the Superman that Henry Cavill played. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like there's a difference. Like, oh, he is seemingly the right person to play that role, but he was never given a role worth playing.
Yep.
And that's one of the things that need to be broken down and readdressed with, you know, a new story forging ahead. You know, there's too much baggage to bring these other folks who were in these other movies along. It's the unfortunate nature of it.
yeah.
And if we want to get it to a point where people aren't confused by what they see on screen, then you need to get rid of the shit that wasn't working. And that's the stuff that was all based on and around the Snyder cut, the Snyder shit, you know, and not for nothing. I know there are a lot of people out there that are fans of Snyder, but like you can be a fan of Zack Snyder, but that doesn't mean you understand the characters of Batman and Superman as they were portrayed. And he had a wildly abhorrent portrayal of each one of those characters in the movies he did. Batman is not supposed to kill.
Yep.
And Zack Snyder coming out in an interview and saying, like, well, you know, if you think about it realistically, like Batman would kill. It's like, except we are literally watching a movie about a billionaire who dresses in a bat costume and an alien from another planet who uses his powers benevolently here on Earth. We've already stepped out of the realm of reality, fuckface. So, yeah, Batman doesn't kill. That's a tenet. And considering that the character has endured for decades and is still a wildly popular comic book character who doesn't kill in the comics, all right? Still one of the most popular characters there is.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need to make him kill to make him badass. You don't. And Superman, I mean, how do you take the glowing beacon of hope and optimism throughout not just DC comics, but quite frankly, comics? He's an archetype for a reason. All right. And you turn that character into the one of the most dour and angst-ridden individuals ever put in a superhero movie. What? Nah, man. Nah, that ain't it. You know, I just I was never thrilled about any of the stuff that resulted from Man of Steel. And now that it's all being sorted out and started up again, good. More power to them. I think as much as some people might disagree with me, they might not think it right now, but if they truly want to see any of those movies from Warner Brothers and DC do well moving forward, this is the right thing. This is the right move. And if nobody agrees now, I hope that they can see it, and we all can see it in a few years' time when we've actually gotten some coherent and cohesive stories being put out there that are actually enjoyable across the board.
So,
Not just
how do you think they would make the transition for like the public? Like I could see the only way you could really do it would be in, film something in Flashpoint, but you already have these other movies coming out.
well, first of all, it's the Flash. Stop calling it Flashpoint.
No, no, no,
Everyone,
no. I mean the event Flashpoint. Trying to think like, how are they going to be resetting the universe for the public? Are they just going to say, "Hey, we're cutting everything off, everything's new from there," or will they like when a new Superman comes out? How are they going to
I've
explain like?
I have no idea. I honestly have no idea. I mean, for all we know, there's other stuff that's being filmed to put onto the Flash because of changes being made now, or the plan is to do that. I don't know. It seems to me like the Flash might be a good point to do that. The only thing that throws me off in saying like definitively that would be the case is the fact that Aquaman comes out
Yeah,
later in the year, and I just don't understand how that works.
yeah.
Hmm.
Well, I mean, that's where I'm asking. Are they just going to make like an official announcement saying, "Hey, we decided to rebuild everything, so these characters are going to be new going forward. You're not going to see so and so," or are they going to try to develop a story? So I
Uh,
guess we need to wait and see. And
yeah, I mean, it's just I think it's too unprecedented to call,
yeah,
honestly. Uh, with the Flash, you could conceivably end it with somebody somebody else inhabiting the role of the Flash by the end of it. You know, essentially like a variant situation, and they have already established before Marvel ever did that variations of characters don't necessarily have to look and sound exactly like the uh no, we cannot just skip over the origin stories. Why should we skip over the origin stories? We didn't do that for most of the Marvel stuff. And let's keep in mind, like, because you know it doesn't mean everybody else knows it. So if we have a Green Lantern movie come out again, we should just skip how he gets the ring. I don't think that makes much sense.
well, I thought they were talking about how was wasn't there a tweet saying that that they were going to skip over Superman's origin, or they weren't
Yeah,
going to show it again.
that it was going to be like year 2, sort of in
Yeah,
the same vein as the Batman. And
yep,
that's fine. That's fine. I mean, I do think that we'll get like glimpses, flashback kind of stuff of Superman, as a younger kid or whatever, but I don't think it's necessarily going to show Krypton exploding. That may be something that's addressed in the next movie. Like, whatever comes after that, it'd be very easy to do a whole Fortress of Solitude, him learning about Krypton from, the basically like extensive library that Jor-El sent as part of the ship's artificial intelligence. That's fine. And you can get away with that with Superman and Batman because I mean, if we get I mean, never mind Superman, we get one more fucking movie with Thomas and Martha Wayne getting capped in a fucking alley after a Zorro movie. I'm gonna shoot myself in the fucking head after I walk out of the theater. I mean, it's just it's ridiculous. Superman, everybody's saying that stuff about Superman, like, oh, do we need another Superman origin movie? How many have you gotten?
Yeah, because Superman Returns it was a continuation.
Yep.
Well, they skipped
So
over.
you've gotten two. You
Yeah.
got Superman the movie, and then Man of Steel. That's it. That's the only two origin movies that have ever been done for Superman. How many times have we seen what fucking leads Bruce Wayne to become Batman, though?
Yeah.
A lot.
Oh my fucking God.
I just saw a
Yeah.
poll rating what the best version was of their murder.
See, that's the problem. That's what I'm talking about, man. That is absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah. I think
Wow.
What topped the poll?
I think it was Batman Begins.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, you mean where they actually tried to show who Thomas and Martha Wayne were as people before
Yeah.
they were just turned into fucking murdered ciphers in an alley on a dark night in Gotham? Yeah, that makes sense. Because you actually gave a shit when they got killed in that movie. That makes perfect sense. I mean, the first Batman 89, technically, yes, that is his origin, but it's so bullshit because they don't even show it to show Batman's origin.
Yeah.
They're showing it to show how the Joker relates to Batman's origin.
Yeah.
Batman is the least fucking important character in the movie Batman. It should have been called the Joker. Let's be real. But yeah, regardless of that, there's only been 2 Superman movies that have shown completely different origins. I mean, obviously the tenets are the same, but the execution very, very different altogether. Stylistically, cinematically, you name it. But
I don't think they even covered that in the black and white Superman. Because they did movies of that, right?
The serials? What are you talking about? Hold on. You talking about George Reeves?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean they never showed like Krypton exploding or anything like that. It's his story is pretty much how the show starts.
Yeah.
Champion of truth, justice, and the American way.
I thought you were talking about the old cartoons.
Well, those are yeah.
Yeah.
Superman versus the Mole People was the very first iteration of George Reeves' Superman. It was a movie, and that's how from that is where the Adventures of Superman television show was developed.
Yeah.
Before Christopher Reeves, my God, it's George Reeves, Christopher Reeve. Before George Reeves, though, Kirk Allen played Superman in the movie serials.
Yep.
And then the Max Fleischer cartoons, which were originally black and white and then eventually colored. That's actually the first time that Superman flew.
I didn't know they were originally in black and white.
Yeah.
A few years ago, I saw the 78 Superman in the theater for the first time, and they showed a Max Fleischer cartoon beforehand.
Yep. Superman versus the Mechanical Men.
Yes.
I know. I also went to go see it in theaters. Not that I hadn't seen it. Not that I was seeing it for the first time. Not even the first time in theaters. To be perfectly honest, first time I saw it actually, it was on a 35 millimeter print at Somerville Theater in Boston.
Oh wow!
Wow.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. I mean, there was definitely portions that they had to cut out. Like the film got ruined, and it was like right at the beginning. When Krypton is like getting destroyed, like the cigarette burns, that's one thing, like that's part of the whole thing, but like I mean there were just scratches and almost holes and shit, and I was like Jesus, and then all of a sudden it was clear, like everything was fine again. I'm like, oh yeah, there was about 3 minutes that they had to cut out of this. All of a sudden it's like, they're like sideways hanging, everything's glowing red in Krypton, and then next thing you know, like boom, it's like the thing is like away from Krypton and it just explodes. I'm like, I feel like there was more there. Actually, I know there was more there, but That's fine. It's Superman on 35 millimeter. I'm good. It was my birthday on top of it, so I was like,
Nice.
yeah, happy birthday, me. I'll take it. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff that they can work on that they'll have irons in the fire for DC, and it's just an exciting time, I think, for fans of comic books and comic book movies just generally.
Yeah.
You know, it's not just, I mean, it's not just DC and Marvel. I mean, I'm really super intrigued and kind of excited to see what's going to happen with the Spawn movie.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, Jamie Foxx is, gonna play Al Simmons in it, and Todd McFarlane was working on the script with someone else. I can't remember, and he was talking about directing it, but somebody else is gonna come in to do that. I think he himself said, like, I really wanted to do it, but then at the same time, it's like maybe we should have somebody who really like knows what they're doing, truly knows what they're doing when it comes to directing a film, come in to do this. And if there's story points that they need help with, I'll be there. And I think that's the right attitude to have. But yeah, I'm that bit is pretty that all that is pretty much what we know, but it's still it's still alive. It's still something that's being developed right now.
I haven't
And
heard anything in a while, so I thought it was like dead in the water or something.
yeah, no, it's been a couple months, but it's been gestating for a while, and
I think he said something at New York Comic Con about it, but then it
yeah,
just went dark after that.
well, it's because like it's just very very little news. Not much has changed other than hey, they're still working on it, and that's fine. Take your time with it, get it right, because that first movie was fucking horrible. It really was. It was what the French call not good.
I remember liking it, but you know me.
What a fucking surprise, Leo. What a shock. I remember seeing that movie in the theater when I was a kid. I was in like 7th or 8th grade, maybe 9th grade. I can't remember. And I remember being in the theater, like really trying to convince myself how good a movie it was, and not knowing any voice actors other than like Mel Blanc at that moment in my life still. As soon as I heard, oh my god, Frank Welker do the voice of Malebolgia, and I can hear that fucking echo again.
Yeah, it came back. It might be gone though.
Okay.
Yeah, it's gone.
Ooh.
Right
Where's
Maybe
it coming from?
now. I don't know. It may be software. I'm thinking.
Turn the gain down on this. But yeah, as soon as in the theater, when I heard Frank Welker's voice come out of Malebolgia, and it's the same fucking voice that he used for Dr. Claw and any other number of characters over the years, and he's just like, Al Simmons, you have been chosen to be the general of my army. I was like, yeah, I'm done. I am fucking done. That is a fucking cartoon voice they're using for Malebolgia. I don't know who that fucking dude is, but this fucking dude does this voice all the time. I'm done. I did not expect Dr. Claw to be the one threatening Al Simmons with eternal damnation, but here we fucking are. And after that, I was, yeah, you know what? I'm done. This movie is just it's just not good. It's just not great. And that being said, I still bought the director's cut on VHS when it came out because I was like, God, this will be what changes my opinion for sure. No, it did change my opinion, but of Todd McFarlane for a good long time because he filmed like a fucking 5-minute rant about corporate America before the movie started. And I was like, corporate, didn't you just spend $3 million on a fucking baseball? Don't talk to me about corporate America, Mr. McFarlane. Please.
Facebook user says, I don't know. I have seen Black Adam and the Batman this year, and they both missed the mark. Black Adam needed a backstory on the JSA, and the Batman was just bad. I think they need to take some time to get things right.
I think that Black Adam was, it was like diet soda. Um, it it was so close to being the real thing that some people got tricked into thinking it's delicious, and other people were like, no, 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 that's bullshit. Give me the real stuff. So I completely understand why you feel that way about that. The Batman, I disagree with your assessment. I mean, obvious. I don't know much about what you're saying because you just said was just bad, and I mean, I don't know what that means. There's any number of things that you could like or not like about it. The general consensus across the board seems to be that most people enjoyed it. I myself am one of them. I really enjoyed the fact that it started off like year two. We didn't get a whole drawn out crime alley scene.
So did
Uh,
I. I enjoyed it too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the fact that he's living in the penthouse in the city. Um, and the indication whilst watching the movie was like, he didn't want to be at his family's home because, we could see he didn't want to be a person in that movie, and living in the same home he spent growing up with his family before they were taken away from him. That's like the last thing he wanted to do. Um, and I honestly enjoyed the fact that at the end of that movie, for sure, for the first time in any of the Batman movies, we actually see Batman engaging as a human being with other people in Gotham who are not fucking villains, who are not the people he's trying to beat up and put in jail. He stays to help people. And that's not something we've seen. We've not seen a Batman who finally has a glimmer of hope. And because that's the one thing I think that a lot of people tend to forget when it comes to that character is for all of Batman's gruffness and grit and toughness, um, I think that little bit of hope that the character always has, it's sort of the light hidden under the bushel. It's really it's too hazy to see past all the cool stuff and all the dark, emo goth stuff. But the thing that drives Bruce Wayne, you really have to think, is the hope that what he's doing will make enough of a difference so that no one will ever have to suffer the same way that he did by losing his parents to crime and violence. And to see that somewhat more human side of Batman, not Bruce Wayne, but Batman out and about in the suit, interacting and showing the citizens of Gotham that he's not some boogeyman hiding in the shadows waiting to just break criminals, but someone who's there because he cares about the city and the people in it. That makes a big difference, a huge difference. And by the time I finished watching that movie, I was like, well, unsurprisingly, for me at any rate, Matt Reeves and Robert Pattinson knocked this out of the park. I had been saying for a while, like, y'all have to give Robert Pattinson a chance. Everybody keeps saying this fucking sparkle Batman bullshit, and it's like, you guys know he's an actor, right? Like, that's a role he played. And if you've been paying attention to his career at all since the Twilight movies, he has been doing a lot of character work. A lot. He has stayed away from any other type of franchise, and the Batman brought him back to a franchise title. And I can see why. I think that there's a deeper understanding for Batman as a person, Bruce Wayne as a human being who would do this than we've seen even in Chris Nolan's movies. Because even by the time we got to The Dark Knight, it stopped being about his development as a character so much as it was his reactions to other things happening outside of him. that being like the Joker and Two-Face and what have you.
Yeah.
You know, the entire volatile political situation of Gotham City itself. And if they make Robert Pattinson the Batman of the DC Studios universe moving forward, like they work that out, good. You know, and if they don't, my proposal is that if they do have Batman involved, which they will, but if they with having Batman involved in anything moving forward, if they don't do a straight up Batman movie and they work their way to a Justice League by the time that Matt Reeves is finishing his third Batman, so they still have to figure out how to finagle the character in. I say do something fucking wildly different than what we've seen before, and that is keep Batman a character who's relegated to the shadows.
Yeah.
You know, it would be incredible in a movie that has Batman in it, not even a Batman movie, but has Batman in it. Have him be in the shadow throughout the entirety of the movie. All right. And have his suit be so obfuscated throughout the entire movie because of him staying out of plain sight that we could never ever argue about how good or bad the suit looks like online before we see the movie because there would not be a clear shot of it.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Until
Make that
until the very end, make it like
yeah, until the very But like just don't have him don't have him be that prevalent character. Have him be the fucking silent, shadowy badass. See, I thought it was just too long and too brooding. I wanted to like Pattinson, but I feel like that when it comes to the movies, we rarely the 50-50 of Batman and Bruce. I feel like they tried too hard to push just Batman and not enough Bruce that matters.
And Nate also said, for me, I connected more with the Batman as Batman than any other movie. And he says The Lighthouse is by far his best role.
I mean, I didn't think it was too long. I mean, brooding, that's a hard one to comment on because I mean, Batman as a character in the movies broods. That's tough. I don't know. I didn't have those issues with it, so I'm sorry that you did. And you are most certainly entitled to your opinion. And I'm sorry that the movie didn't blow your hair back. I mean, it barely blew mine back. That's a ball joke. But
You don't say.
hopefully the next one works better for you. Maybe if anything, there might be numerous other people with the same issues you had, Facebook user, and you know, it'd be nice to think that there are certain things that were paid attention to after the movie's reception, and they say, "Oh, maybe we should pay more attention to that moving forward." Stranger things have happened, and I mean, they do. You know, people do pay attention to certain things, so long as there's not like a fucking petition being signed and thousands of people using a stupid hashtag on Twitter about it. Yeah, I mean, I hope that the next one, I hope the next one is as good for someone like myself who enjoyed the first movie, but I hope it is better so that you enjoy it. And I do sincerely mean that. So Carrie says, I reached a point with all the different Batmans that I decided to go for the best Alfreds. Jeremy Irons won hands down there for me. I do enjoy the Dark Knights. I didn't catch this year's yet, so I can't cast my vote on that. Andy Serkis is pretty good. I mean, who doesn't love an Alfred with a Cockney accent from Christopher Nolan? No problem, Master Wayne. You can borrow the rose whenever you want. Like, oh, you cheeky fucker, Alfred.
Well, they kind of changed that up in the cartoons, right? Where did they first change that up? They made him like Australian.
Oh,
Gotham.
what?
Alfred.
Oh, the guy, the actor playing him, isn't it Pertworth or something like that?
Pennyworth.
No, the actor, actor who played him. It's like Pert something.
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna look it up. Pertwee, Sean Pertwee. Is he Australian? British theatrical family. No, he's British.
I thought he was playing a Aussie.
Probably not,
No,
because he's British. I don't know why you'd play.
I don't know.
Why you go to the trouble of hiring a British actor to play Alfred as Australian, but no, he was definitely British.
Oh, am I mixing up Black Panther and Batman?
I don't know.
Oh,
Because
I'm thinking of a different actor.
who in,
Forget.
okay, so you mean Andy Serkis from the Batman?
Yeah.
Jesus, Mary and Joseph Leo. I think Andy Serkis is British. You could be wrong. He could be Australian. You may be right. Nope,
British, I think.
he's British.
Forget me.
I mean, we try to, but then you keep talking. Yeah, no, he was born in Middlesex, England. Yeah. I still remember the first thing I ever saw him in, like not mocapped as another character.
Yeah.
He was in a movie with Brendan Fraser. It was one of like the last ones he did before he kind of like disappeared, called Inkheart.
Inkheart. Oh, I didn't see that one.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. Brendan Fraser plays a guy who once in a generation, like someone like him will come along, and they're what's known as a silver tongue, and they have to be very careful and learn how to control their ability, because what it is, anything that they read, they can bring to life, but they have to speak it aloud. That's why they're the silver tongue. And he starts reading this old book, to his daughter, and he hadn't done it or anything like that since he was a kid, and shit goes down, blah, 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 and he accidentally pulls all these characters, including the bad guy, out of this book that he had enjoyed as a kid, and the bad guy of the book is played by Andy Serkis, and he figures out that the guy is a silver tongue, and that's the reason why he's in this like incredible new world. And then he realizes that the guy's daughter, who's like, I don't know, 12 or 13, she can do the same thing. So he kidnaps her, and it ends up becoming the father needing to join forces with the hero from the story, who's played by Paul Bettany, and going to save her from Andy Serkis's character. In the interim, he has her reading a bunch of different books out loud, like classics like Pinocchio and whatever, just to get like the baddest of the bad out of them, so he can like make his own little fucking Legion of Doom.
Oh wow.
But yeah, he had a shaved head in it and everything, like very Lex Luthor, wearing a suit and what have you.
I'll check it out.
Yeah, Inkheart. It's not bad. It's pretty cute.
I'm gonna have to look for it too.
Yeah, I think you'd enjoy it. Paul Bettany has this like long hair in it, and like his whole thing is like he's a fire wielder, so he has like sort of, I think, limited pyrokinesis. Yeah, it's not bad. It was a book written in Germany, Inkheart. I think it's like a series of books, and the first movie came out. It came out in 2008. Like I said, it was one of the last like movies that Brendan Fraser did. And who plays? Oh, that's right. And Helen Mirren plays his mother in it. It's got a pretty good cast. Brendan Fraser, Andy Serkis, Sienna Guillory, Paul Bettany, Helen Mirren. Oh, Stephen Graham. No shit. Yeah, a lot of Jennifer Connelly. That's right. She has a small role in the movie. What makes sense because she and Paul Bettany are married. And Jim Broadbent is in it too. If you had, I mentioned it earlier. Hot Fuzz.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Mhm.
Yep.
He's the captain or the chief or whatever. You gotta listen to him. He's not even from round here. Yeah. So, but yeah, it's not bad. So check it out if you get a chance. Inkheart,
Cool.
starring Brendan Fraser and Andy Serkis. Like I said, it was the first time I'd ever seen Andy Serkis not playing like Gollum or King Kong, and I was like, oh wow, this guy's actually like
You can
pretty
stand
good.
up.
Yeah, he was having. You could tell he was like having a lot of fun with the role too. Like he was like deliciously evil. But yeah, I don't even know how the fuck I got onto that tangent. Sorry.
No worries. But we should actually wrap things up since I hear Megan's home and I need to help her put medicine in Riley's eyes.
And she didn't know you were doing a podcast tonight. Quick, guys, end it quick.
No, she did. It's always different times that she gets home on Wednesdays. She goes and helps out her parents. So
Sounds like they should learn how to be a little bit more independent, but that's just me. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Okay, we're gonna wrap it up. I want to thank everybody for watching this fine evening. If you want to learn about me, just Google me. But I run the Dorkening Podcast Network. We got a ton of awesome shows on the network. There's so many awesome people doing so many awesome things. Head on over to thedorkening.com and powerful Brandon.
Oh, hey. Hey everyone, I'm Powerful Brandon. If you feel so inclined, come on over to the Facebook group Powers Combined. We're just a bunch of dorks that get together to share memes, info, laughs, and good times to be had by all. Our number one rule there is don't be a jerk. If you violate that, we will boot you immediately. If you want to check me out on social media, I'm on Instagram at this Brandon Has Powers. And you can check me out on a couple of podcasts that I do here, as well as this Wednesday night show every Wednesday at 9 p.m. I do the Dork Night with Leo Pond and Justin Cooper, in which we dissect and discuss all things Batman. And switching off from that every other week is Comics Paradox, which I also do with Leo and Justin Cooper, in which we talk about particular issues from What If or Elseworlds, different alternate reality takes and tales for characters and stories that you are already familiar with. And it's not just those two particulars from DC and Marvel either. We also will go over storylines and what have you, story arcs such as Heroes Reborn or Age of Apocalypse, stuff like that. Even Crisis on Infinite Earth. There's so many different alternate versions of different characters that pop up there. But yeah, we're every Sunday at 8 a.m. Every other Sunday, 8 a.m. for both Comics Paradox and the Dork Night, and you can find them wherever fine podcasts are broadcast.
Steven.
You can find the award-winning podcast Super Retro Throwback Reviews on all major podcasts and distributors and exclusively on the Dorkening Podcast Network. Our latest episode, New Year's Revolution 2022 edition. It's the best worst of 2022. So basically whatever we didn't cover tonight, you can listen to our episode where we pretty much read people's responses because we polled, people's responses and basically broke down the best and worst of pop culture and everything in between. So check that out. I'm here every Wednesday on the Dorkening. And check out the links in the show notes for where you can follow us. And our season 12 premieres next Monday. So tune in for that.
Woohoo. Everybody have a good one.
Merry New Year.
Die Hard is not a Christmas movie.